The plane hummed steadily above the clouds when the moment everything changed arrived without warning. Ian, a 34-year-old widowed father, sat in his cramped economy seat staring at the photo of his little daughter, Era, tucked inside his wallet. He whispered a silent promise to her. "Daddy will fix everything." This trip was his last chance at securing a stable job to save their sinking life. But then came the gasp. A sharp, panicked sound that cut through the cabin like a blade. Passengers turned their heads. The powerful woman sitting in seat 3, the one dressed in a tailored suit, radiating authority, slumped sideways. Her skin drained of color, her breathing thinned into fragile gasps. Shock rippled through the plane. Ian didn't think, he simply moved. He rushed up the aisle, guided only by instinct and the memory of a basic first aid training he took years ago. He steadied her head, checked her airway, and spoke gently to her even though she couldn't hear him. The other passengers froze, unsure, and the flight attendants trembled as they looked around helplessly for a doctor. There wasn't one. The turbulence worsened, rattling the plane, but Ian stayed stable beside her, grounding her with his hands, urging her silently to hold on. After a few tense minutes, her eyelids fluttered. She woke, confused and weak, staring at Ian with no hint of the fierce CEO persona she was known for. For a moment, they were simply two humans caught in the same fragile moment between life and sky. When the plane landed, paramedics rushed in. Ian stepped quietly away, picking up his worn bag, ready to return to his own struggle. He didn't know that she had asked for him, demanded to know the name of the man who saved her life. The next morning, Ian sat nervously outside the interview room of the auto company he desperately hoped would hire him. His daughter's picture was warm in his hand from how tightly he held it. He had no idea that a luxury car had just pulled up outside the building, and the same woman he helped CEO Zara Haleim was stepping out. She found him instantly. Her voice was softer than he expected, full of gratitude rather than authority. She thanked him deeply, sincerely, and then shocked the entire office by personally sitting in on his interview panel. Ian answered every question honestly, speaking about engines, tools, and working hands-on to survive. He didn't impress them with vocabulary or polished speech. He impressed them with truth. By evening, his phone rang. Not only was he selected, he was offered a higher position, housing support, and full medical benefits. His knees nearly gave out as he imagined telling Era. Tears he'd held back for years finally slipped free. Life slowly began to shift. Bills disappeared. Era joined the art classes she always dreamed of. Their leaky apartment got fixed. Ian worked tirelessly, grateful for every new dawn that felt lighter than the last. But months later, another surprise arrived. Zara called him to her office, this time not as a CEO, but as someone who wanted to give Era the chance she never had. She had seen Era's sketches that accidentally fell out of Ian's wallet during the interview. She saw talent, emotion, and brilliance in them. Zara offered to sponsor Era's entire art education. Ian was speechless. He had expected nothing and was receiving everything. Months later, during Era's first little art exhibition, Zara stood quietly at the back of the room. Era had painted a simple yet powerful scene. A plane above the clouds, with a stranger helping someone who was collapsing. When visitors asked her about it, she smiled and said, "It's about someone who helped without wanting anything." And how that moment changed everything for us. Ian watched her with pride swelling in his heart. Zara felt something shift to gratitude, humility, and perhaps the realization that even the strongest leaders sometimes need saving. Their lives moved forward intertwined not by fate, not by wealth, not by power, but by a single act of kindness at 30,000 feet that changed 3 lives forever.